Okay, in the last video, I explained to you how to make your FBX model into a single mesh. So if you haven't already done that, you need to do that. Get your FBX model made into a single mesh. And at the end of that video, we do get that model sent into Unity. And here it is. It's called red truck joined. If I open it up, I'll see that it still has stuff inside of it, but this front of the truck, what's called front of the truck, is actually, and I could change the name of that to the whole truck if I wanted to, because it is just the whole truck. It just, all the objects that were in there, when it got collapsed, front of the truck was the last object, and it picked up the name from that. But it really is the mesh for the entire truck. And it also contains all of the materials that are used in the truck. And then here's the mesh for the front of the truck. So that model, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that model into the hierarchy and drop it into the hierarchy. And this one's going to be my red truck. I'll just call it hole. Add try again booth. Red truck hole. And I want to make that into a prefab. Let's delete that one. So I'm going to drag my red truck hole, the model, into my prefab folder to make it into a prefab. And I'm going to make it an original prefab. Then let's see, because this thing comes in so tiny, and I don't know why it comes in so tiny, I am going to set its scale to, I think 2 was the number that was working for me on all 3 of these axes. 2, 2, and 2. There we go. There's my truck. Move it up in the air a little bit here. Looks like a 90-degree rotation in Z. Ought to get that about right. I'll set that from the odd -89 to -90. That's going to put the truck out there at a distance from my parent object here. And then on the truck itself, I'm going to need to add 2 colliders. So the first collider I'm going to add is a box collider. And let me frame select to zoom on this so I can take a look at this box collider. So this box collider, I want to make it fit the shape of my truck. So I'm going to adjust its scale in Y. That'll make it longer. I'm going to adjust its offset in Y to get it to be more centered on the truck. Let's see here. And go to side view right here. In Z, move it up a little bit. Adjust the scale in Z also. Move it up a little bit more. That looks good. Flip to the front. That looks good. I might bump it up just a little bit in Z. Well, that's the position. Okay, that looks pretty good. Side view here. Yeah. All right. So that first collider looks pretty good there. Side view of the truck here. I'm going to add a second box collider. This is going to be to handle the cabin. So I'm going to collapse that first box collider so I don't accidentally start moving it around. And that to there. Move it up in Z. Adjust my scales. Looks pretty good. Scale in Y. Position in Y. All right, so that's pretty good there. I'll check from the other angles here. Maybe my width in X could be a little bit, that's position in X. Size in X. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. All right, so now I've got some general colliders on the truck's body here. Also want to add a rigid body to the truck. Going to set its angular drag to 0, turn off gravity, and set the interpolation to interpolate. So mass of 1, drag of 0, angular drag of 0, uncheck use gravity, and set interpolation to interpolate. And now at this point, if my weapon is lined up on this, let me make sure I apply all my overrides to my prefab here, to this new red truck hole prefab right here, and let me see what happens when I shoot it. Pew! There we go. So now when I shoot this thing, it does go flying away, nicely, flying away. So this is that first step here to get it so that it will respond to being shot. And then in my next video, I'm going to show you how I take the truck that's broken apart into little pieces and get that set up to replace this truck when it gets shot so that that stuff can be caused to explode. So that's all there is to setting up your truck for the explosion. Let me stop the video here.